Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 2, Villarreal 3. Am I surprised? Nope. It is a typical Real Madrid showing to go out there to smash Real Madrid 6-0, to go out there to smash Barcelona at their own backyard 4-0, but to come back here, back to the Bernabeu where we did smash Real Madrid 6-0. The way we played, I mean, look, Chelsea fans are concerned against Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid fans are concerned about Chelsea. And look, I'm not saying that we can't beat Chelsea because, look, I think a lot of people wear Real Madrid as favourites. We'll talk more about that game in my upcoming preview that I'll be recording for that game. But I look at it again and I'm fearful. I'm not fearful because I'm fearful of Chelsea. I'm fearful because, yes, Chelsea on their day might turn up and be an absolute monster. But I fear Real Madrid. I fear us against ourselves. You can go out there, you can play against Real Madrid, you can play against Barcelona in that way, but you can also play against Villarreal in this way. So which Real Madrid are we going to get? Are we going to get the Real Madrid against Valladolid and Barca? Or are we going to get the Real Madrid against Villarreal today? Because that was horrible. Now, once again, like I always, most of the time, do, massive credits to Villarreal because they came here hungry. They were 1-0 down. They pushed. They continued going. They didn't let that affect them. They didn't let that make it 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. And then they got their equalizer, and then they are back in the game. Then we scored again at the start of the second half. But that didn't affect Villarreal once again to make it 3-1, maybe even 4-1. They made it 2-2. And once again, they are back in the game. And when it's 2-2, it wasn't good enough defensively for 70 minutes of that game. We knew it, we saw it, and look, the third goal is just a moment of magic from Chukwueze. But are you surprised? Ask yourself, are you surprised that we threw it away like that? From 1-0, from 2-1 to losing 3-2. Are we surprised? No, I'm not. And look, Ancelotti, the players, may have come out and say, look, even though we are 12 points behind Barcelona, we will still push. But deep down, we know, and fans nowadays aren't that dumb. They know what's going on. I think a lot of Real Madrid fans will tell you, look, he may come out and say, look, La Liga is still a priority of ours. We will still want to do well. But what is left? And when there is nothing left to achieve in a certain competition, when you know that you're not going to win La Liga, the players out there will just not be giving their 100%. And you got to be going out there and giving 100%. The players know that La Liga is over, which doesn't mean that they give up 100%, but it doesn't mean that they're giving their 100% either. And look, in my preview, I said we always worry about what's going on in front of us. And look, maybe we aren't going to win the league. Yes, we aren't going to win the league. But can we please realize that Atletico, who are behind us, can easily overtake us? They were 5 points behind. And I don't know if they have played. I don't know if they have played. So if they win, they're basically 2 points behind. So look, this table is still very competitive. Not between us and Barca, but between Atletico and us. So you can't be going out there with that La Liga isn't going to be ours this season. We're not going to give a damn mentality. Because you can finish third, you may even finish fourth. Because you've got teams like Sociedad, Betis, even Villarreal were in and about the top 6. So they'll be looking at that going, you know what, if Real Madrid don't bother, if Real Madrid are going to lose a couple more games, let's take our chance. Atletico will be going, if we can get second, brilliant. And Real Madrid might just let it go. They might let this slip. This isn't going to be first. It might not be second. It might not even be third because we can let it slip anytime. Against Valladolid, it is Valladolid. They are a relegation team. You know, they aren't the strongest team ever. So putting 6 past them, obviously, it's something to be proud of. It's something to be, looking at, going, that's a good result and good performance. And then, what makes this loss worse is you go away to Camp Nou, you smash Barca 4-0, you dominate Barca 4-0, showing the world, showing everyone that look, Real Madrid at their best is unstoppable. And then the following game, you go and play like the way you played today. That is honestly disappointing and shameful. That's very shameful. Chelsea will be looking at that going, even though Real Madrid did smash Valladolid and beat and smash and dominate Barca, they did play horrendously against Villarreal. We have a chance. Chelsea have a huge chance to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. They have a huge chance. And look, all I'm saying is, if this Real Madrid turns up, we will actually lose across 2 legs. I'm not confident now. I look at Valladolid, I look at Barca, and I go, maybe we will win. But I look at this Villarreal game, and I'm not confident. I'm just not. Where do you get the confidence from? When you know that players will give up like that. Okay, yes, we open the scoring, and then yes, we scored again afterwards. But the defending throughout the whole season has been poor, let's be honest. Just because of 2 clean sheets and 2 solid results, it doesn't change the fact that for the whole season we have been leaking in goals, left, right, and center. And that's an issue that we haven't been talking about, but now we gotta start talking about again. 3 goals in the Bernabeu to Villarreal. No disrespect, but that should not be happening. That should not be happening any day of the week, and it has been happening this whole season. So something has to change, and obviously I'm not saying sack Ancelotti because it's not over yet. The season isn't over. You've obviously got your Champions League, you got your Copa del Rey final. So let's see. But it's a poor showing from Real Madrid after showing the whole world that you can go out there smashing Barcelona, and then the next game you perform that way. And look, it's not surprising because I predicted a 2-1 because I had optimism after the Barca game. But in me, I was thinking to myself, it's the most Real Madrid thing ever to go out there and lose the next game. And you know what? I woke up, I checked the score, 3-2. Am I surprised? No. Anyways, let's talk about the first goal. It's an own goal by Paul Torres. Asensio cutting it back. And Paul Torres is just unfortunate as he hits him and into his back of his own net. That's the goal that gave us the lead. And then Chukwueze was absolutely unplayable, unstoppable today. I mean, he's an incredible player. Both of his goals were incredible. I mean, obviously everyone's going to talk about his second and Villarreal's third goal, which won them the game. But this goal was incredible. Damis Nacho, I mean, I didn't expect Nacho to play. I looked at my team compared to this. So Courtois, obviously, Lucas Vazquez did play like I predicted. Rudiger and Alaba did play. I'm pretty sure I predicted that as well. I thought Militao was going to get the rest, which he did, and then he came on. I thought Camavinga will get a left back start. Nope, Nacho did, and he was absolutely tore into pieces by Chukwueze. The midfield was actually Asensio, Tchouaméni, and Ceballos. I got Tchouaméni and Ceballos correct. I thought Valverde was going to play. He came on. And then the front three was Rodrigo, Benzema, Vini. I thought it was going to be Asensio, Benzema, Vini. So, look, I didn't thought Rodrigo was gonna start. I didn't thought Asensio was gonna play in midfield. I didn't thought that Nacho was gonna play. So I got 8 right, which isn't bad. But Chukwueze absolutely does Nacho dirty, damages him, and buries it into the back of the net. The third goal and the second for Real Madrid is incredible. Vinny Jr. 4 to 5 men trying to get close him, can't quite close him down. He just beats multiple men, and passes it kind of beyond Reina there. Cheeky goal. But after all the hard work that we've sort of done for the first 15 minutes, 2 goals in the game, and we are winning 2-1. It's looking alright. Just don't do something stupid, And Villarreal do well is obviously Chukwueze once again. The player who creates this chance on the right hand side into the box. I have no idea what was happening there. Morales, his first shot blocked, but his second time shot caught Courtois off guard. 2-2, and then last 10 minutes of the game, 2-2. You'll be thinking to yourselves, they're just not concede another one, and then you go on and concede that absolute screamer that nothing Courtois can do about it. So look, I mean, yeah, just poor, just awful. What else can we say? Nothing. But like I said, that Chelsea game, it's a coin flip, heads or tails, and then whichever one you get might win it. Because I look at 2 teams out there that basically can be incredible at their best, but 2 teams that can be horrendous at their worst. But before we talk about that game, which will be in a preview, back to this one. It's obviously, not ideal to be losing, especially considering what I've said earlier, that Atletico are hunting us down and could overtake us and could finish above us this season. The players, Ancelotti will keep coming out until the end of the season saying, we still want to be winning the Liga games, and obviously it's still a must win because we don't want to drop out of the top 2, and obviously not drop out of the top 4. Not finishing in the top 2 is bad enough, but look, we know it, the Liga is over, but that does not mean that the players should be allowed and should be, in general, just giving up and saying, look, we're not going to win the Liga, so we're not going to give a damn. That is not the right mentality, and some of these players should not be playing, and that mentality is weak. I mean, you're at Real Madrid, and the fact that you can go onto the pitch and not give a damn tells a lot. Now, it's easy to find a scapegoat and say, it's Nacho's fault. He couldn't mark, and he couldn't deal with Chukwueze. But let's be honest here, the whole team let us down today, and overall it was shocking. Now I'll end off with something that I didn't want to talk about, something that should not be happening. I mean, we have been talking this whole season about how Vinny Jr. gets his abuse, which he still obviously will do, but I think another recent thing is popping up, and especially for this game, was that Valverde Baena situation and that case. Now, I'll give you a timeline of what happened. So it was after the game. It was around the bus area of the Bernabeu, and firstly it came out and it was reported as 2 players were apparently fighting. Now it was unnamed at the time, and then it came out that Valverde had punched Baena. Now we won't know why that was, and Valverde has said his side of the story, and Baena has said his side of the story. Now, if it's true, obviously it should not be tolerated. And look, I believe it's true. Not because Valverde is a Real Madrid player, but Valverde said that this happened a few months ago when we played Villarreal in that 2-1 defeat, I believe. Now, if it is the second time happening, and look, surely and clearly Valverde was provoked, because I don't think Fede Valverde is the kind of player and the kind of guy who would just punch someone for no reason. And look, you could say, oh, because Real Madrid lost the game. That's nonsense. You think Valverde will go and punch a player because he was pissed that we lost a game? That is stupid, because that hasn't been happening. The last time we lost against Mallorca, did we hear about anyone punching anyone? We didn't. We did hear about that Valverde, not Valverde, the Vinny Jr., and the Mallorca player having a bit of banter, a bit of trash talk, but it wasn't that deep. Now, for Valverde to react the way he did, something must have happened. And the fact that he's saying that his child, obviously his wife had, I believe, a miscarriage a few months ago, and the fact that he said that that happened, and that Baena guy was provoking him, kind of making fun of him about it, it could be a lie. But because of how he reacted, I believe him. Now, if it is true, and let's take it as it's true, not because I'm being unfair to Baena, but because it's his side of the story, and Baena hasn't said his side of the story. He hasn't come out and said what's actually happened. The only thing he has said is that is not true. That's not what I said. But he didn't came out and said what I have said. And you know what? If Baena comes out and said, look, I said this and this and this, or I didn't say this and this and this, or I didn't say this, I didn't do anything, and he just punched me for no reason. If that's what Baena comes out and say, then we'll assess it. But until Baena has actually said something, except for I haven't said it, we will assess this. We will assess this story. Now, obviously, doing stuff like this isn't right. Now, this is just like Materazzi and Zidane back in that World Cup final. Now, obviously, everyone will be going at Zidane saying, he shouldn't be headbutting. He should be keeping himself under control. But it's that one moment where your opponent provokes you, you do something stupid, and it wasn't on the pitch, it was apparently off the pitch, right? And he punched him. Now, okay, we'll assess the story. Punching him is not a right thing to do. Right? Punching anyone for no reason, or even if it's for a reason, is not right. But if we're gonna talk about it that way, is making fun of someone's miscarriage child right? Now there will be a lot of people who contradict themselves, because they'll be going, how is he allowed to do this kind of stuff? How is he allowed to punch? But they are the same kind of people who are saying, look, Baena is allowed to do that, but Valverde isn't allowed to respond. So that's contradiction. They are contradicting yourself, because on one side you're supporting Baena, saying he's allowed to say that, but on the other side you're going, Valverde isn't allowed to respond. He can't punch him back for provoking him. If you put yourselves in Valverde's shoe and someone says that about your kid, and look, you can deny it, you can say, obviously I wouldn't respond that way. That's BS. Anyone who has a heart, unless you don't have one, would respond. And put yourself in his shoes, you would respond, right? If someone makes fun of a miscarriage child or your wife or whatever, you'll be responding. So look, put yourself in his shoes. We gotta put ourselves in other people's shoes before talking so much rubbish out there. And one last thing, because I don't want to make this into a debate. I don't want to make this into a fight. But I'll say one thing, and I'll say that the social media is a dangerous place to have your opinion. Because rather than talk about opinions, people will start talking about other things. So just be careful, guys. But Baena, what he did and what he said was not right. And until he comes out and he says and he justifies himself, because if he actually didn't say that, he would have justified himself a long time ago. But the fact that he's still out there, he hasn't said anything immediately. And when I say immediately, is immediately after Valverde comes out and say, Baena, made fun and said things about my child, right? Now, if he hasn't come out strict after Pele said that, there's a bit of a problem here. So, look, let's see. But I'm just saying if Fede Valverde or Baena has said anything now, Villarreal will not file a complaint against Real Madrid for what Valverde did. They left the decision to Baena. Villarreal denied having the video of Valverde punching Baena. And look, there hasn't really been any news about there hasn't been anything said by Baena. So, look, until he comes out and he says, and he should have done a long time ago, but until he comes out and say, look, I'm innocent, I haven't said this, and Valverde is accusing me, he's putting words into my mouth, then we can have a talk. But until then, if Baena is gonna stay like a coward, because there is no reason to hide if he hasn't done it. Why would he be hiding and fearful? He's a man after all. You know, it's his legacy. He can't be just saying, oh, I'm scared that Valverde has said that. But until Baena comes out and says, I haven't said it, and I would sue Valverde for putting words into my mouth, then we'll have a discussion. But that'll be it for today's Real Madrid review. I didn't want to talk about that, but I feel like some things have to be said. And if this was the other way around, if this was another way around, as Baena punching Valverde, for example, and Valverde making fun of Baena, I will be sat here again saying the same stuff. So, look, I'm not someone who contradicts myself. I hate people who contradict themselves. And this isn't just because Valverde is a Real Madrid player that I'm defending him. If he isn't a Real Madrid player, I would not be defending him either. So it's not about defending him because he's my player. He's a Real Madrid player. He's a player of the club I support. Anyways, anything else I want to add? I had something in my mind earlier. Oh, I can't remember. I really can't remember what else I wanted to say. But yeah, Chelsea preview will be coming out probably Monday, maybe Tuesday. I will see. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you did, subscribe to the channel that's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.